Whew. Good morning, guys. Hi. Welcome back to my channel. It's me, Steven. And happy Vlogmas Day 19. I'm out of breath only because I gave myself a half hour to get ready. I woke up at 4 a.m. and our van time is 4:30. Yeah, not good, not good. I raced down here and then realized I left my $45 phone charger in the room, so ran back to get it. Now I'm out of breath, but I've got my tea, my grab and go, and ready to start this day. Let's go back home. I miss my cats. All right, guys. Hi. So we got to the aircraft. We're on a 319. This aircraft in this configuration holds 145 guests. We have 141 booked to Tampa, and from Tampa it's supposed to be like 50 people, and then we're oversold going to Vegas. So we'll see how the day goes. I was warned by our gate agent that the VP of in-flight is here in Atlanta and may show up, which so everything is buttoned up and ready to go. I don't want to get in trouble, so we're all set. And I hear some lovely people approaching, so we're boarding in a moment. I'll see you soon. All right, hi Tampa. So we just arrived in Tampa. That leg was an hour and 12 minutes. The flight back to Atlanta is going to be an hour and 14 minutes. We only have about 100 people on board, so it'll be a light flight. We're oversold going back to Vegas. But it was a nice leg. No troubles, no problems. But you know, I'll tell you, I'm flying lead, and on a 319, when you're lead, you're by yourself up in front. And one of my favorite moments flying, it is one of my favorites. I giggle almost every time. Is when you're sitting in this jump seat right there, and you're looking down the length of the aircraft when you're taking off, and we're literally like this, you know, we're literally taking off like a rocket, and you can look down the length of the aircraft, and you're flying hundreds of miles an hour, and it's very thrilling, it's very exciting, and it's one of my favorite parts. What else happened that leg? Oh, there was this beautiful little Indian family. They were just beautiful. And the little girl was just princess-like. These cute little bangs, long hair. And I walked by, and I said, oh my gosh, aren't you the cutest thing? You are just a perfect little Disney princess. I'll tell you about the rest of that in a minute. Sorry, I was interrupted. We were boarding for this this last leg. So that little girl, she reminded me of this perfect little Disney princess, and her parents couldn't have been more thrilled when I said that. And I passed by, and on the way back, I realized, I'm like, Disney princesses aren't always the goal, right? So I was like, when I passed by again, I said, not that princesses always need to be saved by a prince. Sometimes the princesses can be courageous and strong on their own. And that went right over her head, and the parents didn't know what to do with that. I'm like, it's maybe a little early to start developing feminism. I don't know. But it wasn't really a good ending to a compliment, whatever. The only other thing I think that happened on that leg, totally inconsequential, and I probably shouldn't say it, but you know, in our carts, our galley carts, one of those carts is filled with water in large bottles, like 1.5 liter bottles, that we would use in the event that we were stopped on the tarmac. If we had a tarmac delay, at a certain point, an hour and a half, we have to start preparing to serve water and little cookies, just in case, so that, you know, people can have some sustenance while they sit on the aircraft. And if someone takes those bottles out of the cart, we may not have them for a tarmac delay. And on a day where we have 3 legs, I tend to play it safe. I don't like to give out those bottles of water. Some of my coworkers will snag one if we're being catered. Sometimes they'll take one. We're not supposed to. It happens very rarely. I don't see it all the time, but once in a while. And so the captain wanted one of these big giant bottles of water. And as I said, I'm not comfortable giving those bottles out just in case we need them. And so I said, oh, you know, I'm so sorry. I'm kind of uncomfortable giving those bottles out in the event that we need them. Plus, there was potential for an audit by in-flight. So I was like, I really don't want to get caught making a mistake like over a stupid bottle of water. So can I give you a couple smaller bottles? He really did not like that response. I think he's very used to people bending, oh, sure, you're captain, whatever you want. I'm sorry, love. So he almost ignored the bottles that I offered him. He just didn't even want to see them. Whatever. But that was it. Now we have about 20 minutes before we start boarding, so I have some time to eat some hot food. And then we're on our way to Vegas. And so if nothing happens before we take off there, I will see you in Vegas. So I just got off the plane and I'm moving to the airport. And there's all these people with these signs. Apparently 50 million people have come to McCarran Airport since January 1st of this year. Isn't that wild? So there's a little celebration. 50 million passengers. This is more of a celebration of 50 million passengers coming through Vegas. I'm gonna go down there, but I need to get an Uber home. I am so tired. Alright, I just got home. It's probably about another 40 minutes of sunlight, and there is Diana right there. And Buddy is my little house panther. Where'd he go? Oh, there he is. There he is. Hi, Buddy. Hi. My little baby. Hey guys. Alright, so I just got home a few minutes ago from the airport. I didn't have much of a chance to film much at the airport, especially about that last leg of my trip. I just wanted to get home, and the only thing I think I filmed there was that bit about the 50 millionth passenger to pass through McCarran Airport since January. Just crazy. But I got home a few minutes ago. I let Buddy out. I stopped at the leasing office of my building to talk about an email they sent us, which I'll tell you about in a moment. But the last leg of my trip, you know, we started very early this morning in Atlanta. We flew to Tampa, then we flew back to Atlanta, and then here to Vegas. The last leg of my trip, the longest one, it only took 4 hours, which is a miracle, because going west sometimes can be a real challenge with headwinds. But this was not just a leg where nothing really happened. It was the nicest, it was really the best experience I think really I've had with as a flight attendant. Everyone on that plane was uncommonly pleasant. We had a whole football team on board of, I think, college or high school football players, and one would expect them to have been rowdy. Didn't hear a word. I must have thanked the coach like 5 or 6 times for having such gentlemanly students on board. They were wonderful. We had just a pile of wonderful people up and down the aircraft, and I got a chance to really connect with quite a few of them. And a lot of them, sorry for the airplanes, a lot of them were first-time flyers with my airline, and they had heard bad things, as many do, about who I work for. And they all told me how pleasantly surprised they were, and what a nice time they had. It was all in all probably the best flight I've had as a flight attendant. Everyone was that nice. It was a little uncommon for it to be from Atlanta, because sometimes Atlanta is a lot of work. But it was just a beautiful leg. I did literally struggle once or twice to keep my eyes open, because I didn't get much sleep at all, and it was a very long day. But so yeah, that's the end of my work day. So while I was away, I got an email from the leasing office saying, you know, if you have any feline furry friends that are outside by the 20th, they wanted to make sure that all those cats were chipped, and Buddy is chipped. I have to have him re-chipped or refresh the chip because the first time is only for a year, I guess. And it was a year in January, I think he was chipped. Or they have to wear a collar. Buddy will not wear a collar willingly, and he gets very stressed when I try to put a collar on him. So I don't think it's going to be very successful, but he's chipped. But their goal is, the apartment's leasing office goal is to trap all of the cats that are around here and then bring them to a no-kill shelter. I'm a little scared, especially for Diana, in that, you know, she's feral. She's not just like a stray cat that used to be owned by someone. She's feral. And I'm the only person she lets within a few feet of her. Even now, after a year of me feeding her, she's still very cautious. I can't imagine that this cat would be adoptable by anybody. I just don't imagine it, Diana, surviving the whole process. So I'm a little heartbroken. I'm going to redouble my efforts over the next couple of days to try and capture her. I've almost given up because she just does not want to get into the trap, this cage I bought. But we'll see. We'll see if I can't catch her, because if she suddenly disappears, I'll just be heartbroken. And I've already warned the apartment complex. They all know who my cat is, Buddy. They all know him by sight, especially the maintenance woman, who's sort of the go-to person here. I just kind of warned them, if anyone took my cat away from this complex, and after capturing him, I would lose my mind, and not in a civil, logical, rational way. I've already warned them. And so they all know my cat. I've sent them an email with a photograph of Diana, just in case. So if they do capture her before they bring her to a shelter, I've asked them to let me know. If I'm here, not traveling, if I'm here, I'd just literally take her, let her in my apartment, and try and sort of familiarize her with me, or just people in general, and see if I can't acclimate her to people. And if I can't keep her, at least make it easier for her to be adopted. You know, does that make any sense? I don't even know. So I'm going to go try and find Buddy. He is refusing his treat because he knows that it is probably a ploy to try to capture him and bring him in the house. But that's it. So I'm going to end this vlog today, because I am beyond tired. I can't think of anything else I would share with you guys today. But, you know, today, just to kind of recap, today was beautiful. The first two legs were great. They were nice and easy. But this last leg, full boat, and I'll tell you, 145 passengers on board, and every single one of them was fantastic. I kept thanking him over and over again for being so great, because they made a very long day. Not just the day easier, but, you know, it definitely refreshed my sense of passion for my job. So blah blah blah, I keep talking. So thanks for watching today, and I will see you tomorrow, continuing Vlogmas. Definitely make sure to enter into my contest, my giveaway. I've mentioned a couple times over Vlogmas, so definitely think about entering into that contest. I'll be taking, you can enter until Christmas. I won't be making the announcement until probably New Year's, or New Year's, the day after New Year's. Blah, blah, blah. He keeps talking. All right, so I'll talk to you guys later. All right, fly safe.